Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks, the only podcast that takes your first world problems, wraps them in a tiny bow. I'm full of cold medicine.
Leaves them under the tree.
Leaves them under the tree.
Leading you along.
Leading me along through a winter wonderland.
Christmas based.
To where
wraps them in bacon.
Wraps them in bacon.
Oh, and bacon as well.
You eat them. They come out all solutions shaped. My name's Dom.
I'm Ross.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Graham.
Hey, Ross's dad is
got my
here.
dad with us this week.
Hey.
He's come to join the solutioning with us.
Keep my eye on them.
Yeah, that too.
It's nice because Ross usually does the podcast naked. Maybe we can get a member of your family along every week so that you put some clothes on.
Keep me under control.
Ross, is this a part of your grounding? Were you naughty over Christmas?
He opened his Christmas present way early.
Yeah.
You can only go out and play with your friends if your dad comes along.
We almost had to do this at my house. You had to sneak up the drain pipe up the back. Sneak your way.
Oh dear.
I was picturing more of us in the garden with podcasts burnt into the grass with the laptop.
Playing a song.
Playing the
Yeah.
tune out the thing. I know this song.
Well, I hope everybody at home had a nice Christmas and New Year.
Did you?
I did. I've been very ill last few days leading up to this, but other than that, I had a very
Thought
pleasant.
you'd come down here and infect all of us.
Yes,
He's licked all the mics.
I am the plague ship.
Wasn't just a full-on food coma this year then, or something.
No, it was a full-on food expulsion.
Oh dear. That's not what you want. He's the only guy that lost weight this Christmas.
Yeah, genuinely, actually have. It was about 3 pounds in a few days.
You usually lose that on Boxing Day morning anyway, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah, no, I've been pretty ill. Both ends,
Oh,
both ears.
both ears, yeah. I'm
Both
glad it's
ears.
over.
Both the left and the right.
Yes, nostrils as well. Every orifice.
Oh.
Anyway,
Well, mine was much better than that.
I had a great Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, mine was good.
Yeah.
It was nice. Presents.
I'm still at Christmas, really. I haven't gone back to work yet. So
Me
still
neither.
Christmasing.
really, I went to work the day after Boxing Day. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
This is tomorrow is my first day back, which will be, by the time this podcast comes out, 2 days ago.
Chris Fox has just informed me that my mic is very quiet.
Your mic is very
Yes,
quiet.
I'm gonna
Alright.
crank that.
Adjust.
Crank it.
Crank it up to 11, boy. Ooh.
Is that any better, Chris? I can't hear it, so I've got no idea. So I'm just gonna crack on. And you can give me it in decibels in a minute, how much I need to go up.
Yeah.
Right
Nice.
then.
We had some stuff.
Yeah,
come
we've
in
had some.
over
We've had some
Christmas.
correspondence. Do you want to read out the correspondence?
I'll let you read that. I'll read this because it is addressed to me.
Right, okay.
Because we're kind of on catch up because the first couple of weeks of December we were recording that murder mystery which came out.
Yeah,
over
which a lot of people
Christmas.
downloaded, so thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. It made the hours and hours toiling away
Yeah.
worth it.
Yes,
Just.
only just.
If you want to donate to my my page, then
It's Just Giving page.
I'll set that up. Yeah,
Just giving for what?
you know, the amount of time that it took me. I think I probably would have earned if I had worked during that time.
What
There
time?
would have been a full week of work.
What time?
The time it took to write that murder mystery.
Oh well, I helped too.
Yes, and you would have got a tip.
Ah.
He'd have given you 10%.
At least 2
I
days.
did at least a full day's editing.
Yeah,
I think.
I think
I
no.
did a good,
because
a good
we
9,
did that initial
10 hours.
right.
Yeah,
that initial
mate,
right,
It took hours.
which was like a good 8-hour stint. I think that first initial right.
It took bloody hours.
Yeah.
But this is a question I asked just before Christmas. We were talking about what the little nipple inside a bell was called.
The little ball that rattles around and makes
Yeah.
the noise. Do you know what
Uh,
that's called? Do you know what it's called?
No.
No? I just thought you might know.
Dan, this is from James Hemming.
Mm.
Dan, behold my mighty bell. Play close attention. Evidently haven't done this for a little while. Pay close attention to its dangling clapper. It is called a clapper.
Clapper. Now, dangling clapper. That's an awesome euphemism. We have not done this in a while, have we?
No,
That would be a great euphemism for something. My dangling
a
clapper.
dangling clapper.
Could be any number of things.
What would you prefer it to be?
The space between your scrotum and your arsehole. Call it your dangling clapper.
Isn't that already called a gooch?
Yeah, it's called the gooch, but you could call it your dangling clapper.
I want a new name for something.
New name for something.
Yeah, like a little
thing.
Some little thing. Yeah.
I don't know. I am not fast in the uptake today, am I?
No.
Fucking hell. I suppose
maybe we could name one of those hemorrhoids you had.
They're inside. They didn't dangle at all.
Oh, right, okay.
Thanks for reminding me of all that bloody stool, Dan.
It's okay, mate. Some of us could never forget it.
No, especially when it's up your all way. I'll leave him with the dangling clapper thing. I'll bring it back to you next week.
Okay.
Did Dom defecate up your hallway? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Gotcha. What do you think I'm not?
I don't think you have actually ever pooped anywhere in my house other than the toilet, have you?
No.
I weed on the top of the stairs.
That's true, you did. I pooped one evening when we came back from the pub. We were quite young. We were about 18.
Yeah.
And I pooped when we came back from the pub after having chicken and stuff. And it smelt so bad it woke up his mum at like 2 a.m.
With her door closed. With the door, there were two doors and a entire upstairs between Dom and my mother, and it woke her up with the smell. Yeah, and our friend Lee did exactly the same thing.
Not too long afterwards, actually.
Really? Yeah.
A different night, but
He
within.
looks quite proud of it.
I am.
It's on his CV, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, under greatest achievements. Who's this text from?
Oh, don't worry about that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's from ages ago.
Oh, okay. So we've got some Dan mail here from Steve Wynn, who is a bag of Wynn. So this is once again one of Steve Wynn's best grammatical situations.
Yes.
This is not how to write in the English language, children.
You're dealing with an English student over here. He's very particular.
I'm not an English student anymore. Am I?
Well, you're ex-English student, aren't you? Yeah.
Ex-English student.
Forever an English student after that point.
That's true. So he says this was sent quite early in a morning on the 15th of December, so I'm wondering if there was alcohol involved. Apologising. Need some new tracks, guys. Make an album. Maybe a track will make 2000 Christmas #1.
What tracks are you talking about? Did we do a song or something?
I think he wants us to make an album, and one of the singles will make 2017's Christmas #1.
Was it after your No Limit thing?
We did do No Limits a cappella.
Yeah. So maybe we need to do an entire album of a cappella 90s rave tunes.
Cool.
Yeah?
I'll line some up for you and you can sing them.
Excellent.
I got the Poison. I got the Remedy.
I don't know.
I got the Poison to Something Your Remedy.
Something Remedy.
Yeah, I don't know the words.
That's the only bit I know.
We'll have to learn some.
Yeah.
I was doing a bit of Prodigy.
Yeah.
It was Prodigy, wasn't it?
Was it?
Or you could just do Smack My Bitch Up.
Boo! Boo! Ding, 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 ding,
I'll
ding,
just
ding.
copy and paste that
Yeah.
over and over again.
Sorry for making the appointment for the Queen of Sticks. It was a suggestion. I grovel.
That's because he called Lauren the Queen of Sticks, didn't he?
Yeah.
Without, and we pulled him up on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. And apologise, Your Majesties of Sticks. Ha ha! At the end, randomly.
Oh, right.
I didn't realise that Steve Wynn was a pirate name.
Well, that's how it reads. Anyway, he then replied later on that morning at 2:04 and edited this one. I was tired, it was late, had a boo-boo on my finger, and I was annoyed. Sad face, crying face, slightly confused looking sad face. Hence the not bothering with any grammar. Grammaire. Grammar is spelt with an A. Lol. I had a solution all along. I have a wife. She does it now. It's her problem. I wash my hands of it. I think he's referring to our opening tins.
Yeah. We had
because we were
spam,
talking,
didn't we?
with the little keys and stuff.
This is my favourite part.
And then he finishes up with possibly the best bit of correspondence I think we've ever received. And no, not by using her ass.
What?
Surely the word grammar, he'd have had to correct his phone from correcting him the word grammar, right?
Maybe he thinks he knows better than his phone.
Maybe.
My question is that the train of thought here is that I've got my wife to. I'm going to let the guys know that I've got my wife to open the tins for me, and then respond, and then think,
oh, they must think,
just in case we think of someone opening a tin with their ass. How would that even be possible?
I tell you what's worrying, that his mind went to that, which says a lot about us, really, doesn't it?
Maybe it's one of those special Amsterdam shows where they fire things, and maybe they can open things.
Do you know, I would pay to see that.
Like someone opening a tin of spam. It's going to get messy, isn't it?
Male or female.
Oh.
Even better if it's one of those, one of the ones that doesn't have any ring pull whatsoever on it, and you have to use a.
So they Popeye it.
Yeah.
Now that is some cheek. Cheek strength right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And somebody doesn't miss leg day.
Or glute day, for that matter. But then he goes on to say, closer to the Christmas time, he said, Merry Crimbo, guys, and the community. And have an amazing new year. And we have.
Thank you.
Here we are in the future.
Dean Heckley has commented requesting Freed from Desire.
Freed from desire.
It's the only bit he knows.
My something
I don't think I've ever known what the words were.
More and more.
It's something purified, isn't it?
My soul has been purified. And more.
I always thought it was like my incense is purified, but it's not going to be incenses, is it? Because that's not a word.
Maybe, I don't know. Things were different in the 90s. They pronounced things differently.
Yeah. A lot of ecstasy while they were writing those songs.
Well, there you go. Don't do drugs, kids.
It makes you write nonsense.
We manage it without the use.
Yeah, you heard those two specials over Christmas.
And weren't they special?
And that was drug free.
Nothing more than a couple of beers.
You weren't even drunk when you wrote it, were you?
I had a few beers when we wrote the outline of it, and then I think I had a couple of whiskies while I did the route through the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, no hallucinations.
See if we can tell which rooms he did while he was intoxicated.
Yeah.
Oh, we came up with all the rooms that night. We did the initial outline.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, no, Dom was on the hallucinogenics.
Yeah. I was on the mushroom tea that night.
That's why it makes so much sense.
Yes. Well, there's so many colours involved, bro. Anyway, so we have a problem.
We do have a problem. Our first problem of the new year.
Yes. Who's going to read it out? Am I going to read it out?
You can read it out. You've got it there, haven't you?
I've got it here.
Go for it.
This is from Tim Simmons from Southend-on-Sea. Oh, wait.
Did this come in as an email or?
No, Ross has got the email. I've got the beginning.
I remember
of
what it said.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Have you chopped it off?
Yeah, I've chopped it off.
It was. Let me remember. It was when you ask someone, when you go into a shop and you ask someone what they want, they say,
All the bar.
I'll have whatever.
Yes.
And they think they're being helpful, I think, by being easygoing, but actually makes your life more difficult because you've then got to try and think about what you know about that person to make a choice. Because if you went into a sweet shop and I said, get me whatever, and they brought me out a picnic, I'd be furious.
You're not a big picnic fan?
No, I'm not a big picnic fan.
And how would you get a picnic from a sweet shop?
You know, like a picnic bar.
The chocolate
bar that
I
nobody
thought you meant
eats.
bringing out entire fucking picnic.
actual
No,
I'd be
picnic
happy
bar.
with that.
Yeah, a whole picnic's fine because you can take your pick of the sandwiches or the scones or the.
Well, I think if someone says whatever, it's because they're not really fussy.
Yeah.
And they'll
I guess
eat
so.
anything.
So they might not. So if you, yeah.
Because I would never say whatever because I would particularly want a Mars bar.
Always.
Always, mate. Is
Dr.
Mars
Pepper.
bar the top of your chocolate top 10?
It is the steak of the confectionery world.
Do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Steak.
You
It's
think?
the steak, yeah.
You,
The go-to.
It's like a meal, isn't
You
it? If
think-
you have a Mars bar, that's you sorted for
you
another
think
couple of
even
hours.
better than the Mighty Lion bar?
I think so. I think because the Lion bars are full of air because of the Rice Krispies. I'm not saying it tastes
I think I'm
better.
going to have to call some sort of chocolate showdown next week.
Yeah, we should get them all in. Get all the chocolate bars ever.
Well, Ed has joined us, so Ed can help out. But I just feel like the Mars bar, if you were busy at work and you were hungry and you needed to get from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and you're a bit peckish, it's a Mars bar every time.
I feel like there's not enough variety in the bite of a Mars bar. Like all that sort of like nougat stuff and the caramel all just sort of go in together to form a
delicious
single paste.
salivary
and then
mouthful.
You've got the chocolate
steak.
around the outside, which is nice. But with a Lion bar, you've got a variety of. You've got the crunch, you've got the caramel, got the chocolate, got the
I
wafer.
see you're going for the textures.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get a job done. I'm trying to, smash something down, not worrying about too much in about and enjoying it, and then cracking on with the job.
What do you think, Dom?
Well,
So if Ross was to say, if I was to ask Ross then, do you want anything at the shop? And he said, whatever. I've got to know you want a Mars bar.
Somehow, yeah.
see, this is the thing. It's an incredible social burden
Yeah.
to put on someone.
What would you have if you were going to a confectionery
like
shop
maybe
as
Ross
your
is-
standard?
Maybe Ross is like testing you, like see how well they know me. Maybe we would get disowned as friends if we didn't come back with a Mars bar.
No, it's crazy. Twix.
You'd have a Twix.
Twix.
Always. Tina Twix.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. I think next week we should do a battle of the classic confectionery.
I enjoy a Twix, but
I like a Twix.
it's
Yeah.
they're
How do you
very
eat the
tasty.
Twix? Do you eat it in one, or do you like bite the caramel off? And
No, I eat it in one.
right,
I'm
okay.
not fussy about it.
You got to combine the 3 layers, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
So you can't go nibbling.
Otherwise, then you're
Top
just
off,
then you're
any-
just eating a bit of caramel and a
Yeah.
bit of biscuit with some chocolate.
I did that when I was a kid, and there's nothing more disappointing than getting down to that last bit and it's just a bit of
It's just biscuit.
dry old biscuit.
Yeah. And your hands are covered in chocolate, and it's
Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
I have nightmares about it.
With Jaffa cakes, though, it is well worth pulling them apart.
No, I still don't do that. I've seen people do that thing where they peel the orange off.
Oh my god, I do
It's
that
like
every
flapping
time.
around. They go, that's the noise they hear. They go, oh, stop it.
Like a bit of old chicken fillet.
Yeah, it's just like that. Like a girl's bra stuffing. It's one of those things,
Oh no. Which reminds me of that Ainsley Harriott video, you know. It's like,
isn't it? What do you have when you go to the shop? What's your staple chocolate?
I
I wondered if I inherited it from somewhere.
I haven't really got a chocolate bar as such, but my favourite is Minstrels.
Oh,
Minstrels.
yes, minstrels.
but the bag that they give you in a like a shop is this big, and it's
Yeah.
if I get that far into a bag of minstrels and there's none left, I'm upset. It's got to be a big bag.
Maybe it's the difference between the generations, right?
I have to eat minstrels until I don't feel well.
Really?
Our dad's generations are happy with what they're given, where we just always want more.
But that's the
Yeah.
textures as well, isn't it? That's the soft chocolate in the middle and the crispy shell.
The crispy shell.
There's
on
two
them.
That's it.
different-
So you got to crunch through the hard shell
There's-
to get to the soft chocolate bit.
There's 2 different
There's something to
sensations
look
going on in your
forward
mouth.
to there.
It's the
Delayed
anticipation.
Do you fridge them or do you leave them out?
No, fridge.
No. See, if I have minstrels, I leave them out because I want the middle to be like squishy.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I quite like a hard minstrel.
I must say I don't tend to go for anything with a hard candied outer shell.
No?
I don't
Smarties
know.
are out for you then.
I don't know why. I do eat Smarties, but
No M&Ms?
I do like them, but what I do is I tend to like pull them apart in my mouth. If I have a minstrel, I like keep it in my mouth, bite it in half, and then
Suck the innards out.
get the oyster out of the middle.
Get the oyster.
Dan's been awfully quiet this evening. He's got a bag of minstrels. He'll be that way for another couple of hours. Individually sucking the middle out of each one.
I do.
That's like some sort of task, like an ancient kung fu master would give to their students.
There's a little bowl on the side with all the shells.
Perfectly intact. Just a tiny pinprick where they've just sucked it out.
I tell you what, an underrated chocolate confectionery item is the penguin bar.
Yes.
You ever done that thing where you bite the 2 corners of a penguin bar off and then suck your teeth through it?
No.
And
Yeah,
then eat
God,
it.
it's glorious.
You can do that with Twix, can't you?
You can do that with a Twix too. Twix
Do it
can
with
be
the
a
Twix?
straw.
Twix
wow.
have a hole
See,
in the middle,
Twix
don't
and
they?
see. Bite top of Twix, bottom of Twix. Ah, glorious.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really into Twixes today. I'm going to have to get a Twix on the way home now.
It must be because you're ill. Last time I was ill, I was really craving sweet things. Because I think it's like an energy thing, isn't it? You get all your energy gets sapped out.
Oh, your body craves like the sugar and fat and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because I was when I sort of came out of my sort of worst part of it, all I wanted was a massive like greasy pizza from like takeaway.
That's how we can do it. We should take swabs of the inside of Dom's mouth now, and then every week for the next 4 weeks, give him back his norovirus, And then at the end of it, see which
love that.
see which pulls him out of it quicker: a Mars bar, Lion bar, Minstrels, or a Twix.
See which one is the
Which
one is
gives you-
ascendant.
Which one gives you enough energy? And then we'll get him to dance until he passes out each time. And then
See
however
which one gives you the most calories and
yes,
energy.
yeah. How much energy?
I bet a Mars
does
bar
Dom
wins
have?
that. Because a
Oh,
Mars a
this
day
sounds like
does
a
help.
horrific experience.
A Mars a day does help you work, rest, and play. So
Oh,
This is what
You
you
were
signed
listening
up
to the
for
mic.
when we started this podcast.
Yeah,
Dom. Human experimentation.
human experimentation. We did it with the tea, the biscuits.
Yeah.
would you be upset if you asked someone to get you a Twix and they came out with a standard Twix, not a Twix Extra?
I wouldn't be upset with that.
Would you not be
That
disappointed?
just means they weren't willing to pay that extra, whatever it is.
What about
40p.
fun-sized Twix?
Says a lot.
If
about
they got a
that,
fun
doesn't it?
size Twix, I'd be a bit peeved, I must admit.
Hardly worth it, isn't it?
Oh, well, yeah, it's not even worth the time, is it? Fun size Twix.
It's always worth the extra.
Yeah, oh god, yeah,
Big
yeah.
ones, the
Yeah.
duos.
Just saying, people might not have the spare change.
Are you guys old enough to remember the king size when they used to have the Mars bar king size? It was one whole piece.
Yes.
And it was massive.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if my head was smaller then, but it was,
No, it's always been that same
yeah.
pea shape.
How do they package though? If you got something like a Twix, which is much less robust as a chocolate bar than a Mars bar or a Snickers, because you have to snap the Mars bar like the double,
Twix comes. It's just extra long Twix.
just an extra long.
It's a longer finger.
But then the Twix packaging is
Right.
much thicker
Just-
foil, isn't it?
Goodness me, it's 21st century physics at work, isn't it? Like someone's worked out the largest size of Twix that you can fit without
That's it. Without it breaking under its own stress,
Yeah.
its own weight.
Anyway, back to the problem at hand.
That's what they're trying over at CERN.
That's what that bloody particle accelerator is for.
Yeah. One of those meter-long Mars bars going around at close to the speed of light. see at what point does it become structurally unsound?
The point it meets itself on the other way around.
And that's how we created the Super Mars bar.
That's what destroyed the world.
The quantum Mars bar.
Two Mars bars hit each other and sucked the world into a black hole.
A big nougaty black hole.
To be honest, nougat is so dense that it probably is close to that anyway. It is close to actually collapsing in on itself, creating a tear in the fabric of space.
And time.
Can we borrow Domino's pizza technology? You know, if you open the app now, you can have that order now
Like my
button,
usual order
and it
thing.
orders what you had last.
Oh, so what you're saying
Can you
is...
tap into that technology?
So
and borrow it?
basically, every time someone does get you something from the shop, it rates your satisfaction with the product bought. So say we'll go to another thing because I think we're getting stuck on sweets. The bar.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Beers.
So beers or whatever, and someone says, just get me... Like, the one I always quite dislike is that, just get me a beer. Well, what beer? There's so many different kinds of beer.
Especially
there's
for
only
someone like me who knows nothing about beers as well. Someone goes, just get me a beer.
You probably know enough though. Like if you said, just get me a beer. So we'll sort of let's say abstractly, a beer is anything that is made with hops that comes out of a tap on a bar.
Yeah.
And I get you a Guinness.
Oh dear.
Right, so you know that you don't want like a Guinness, even though you might not know anything about beer. You're not going to want a Guinness.
No.
There you
But,
go.
there you go. So you can start to narrow these things down.
But the thing is, what I was thinking is someone gives you that response, the get me whatever or just get me a beer. You can have the one beer that you get every time someone says, just get me a beer or get me whatever. And then they have to put up with that because they've asked you that question. And then if they don't want that beer, they have to ask you a different question. They have to give you the actual answer.
All right. So if they say, give me whatever, they're going to get the same beer every time.
Yeah, like a Watery Fosters or something.
Oh, I love a watery.
What if you go into a Shepherd Neiman, all they've got is the Orangy Booms and all that malarkey, and then their
It's not
usuals are
perfect system,
Fosters.
Ross.
This is what we have to solve here.
Yeah.
Then you walk in there, and normally they would have a Foster's, and Foster's isn't there.
I don't think any pub on the planet does not have Fosters.
No?
Don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think I've been in a pub, except for some of those weird London pubs.
We went to a pub today. What were the options there? It was a Orangy Boom, Whitstable Bay, and something. Oh, Asahi.
Yeah.
But she said, don't have that because it make you pissed. That's what
Oh, I
she
do
said.
like Asahi though.
Yeah. But
Never
they
had
didn't
one.
say Foster's, did they?
No.
Yeah.
My house of cards has fallen down.
It has. Pulled out the bottom deck.
Maybe what needs to happen then is that we need to go into more profiling, which we tend to do on this show,
Yeah.
and like Maddie,
Use all that metadata.
yeah. So
That's got about
Sentiment data.
Maddie and I have
data.
got this wine app. So when we have a bottle of wine that we like, you scan the label on it and you rate it from like didn't like it to loved it.
And does
then
it
kind
use
of-
that to
So then
pick
you
you
could
a
kind
new
of
one?
what you could do is you could kind of get like a sense using all of the data on there, and then you could say like if you said I'll bring a bottle of wine round, what do you want me to bring? And I go, oh, whatever. You could kind of look up and go, well, they like this type of wine, and you can kind of just match it up to whatever.
So could you use that maybe as an extension of that app to if I had your profile on the wine app,
Yeah.
I could go into the shop and I could scan something and it goes, no, don't get that for him.
Yeah,
you hate
yeah.
it.
But you could do that with everything: food,
Yeah.
drinks.
So it could be an addition to our Facebook
Pornography.
profiles.
You could literally do it for everything. You know, like got a single mate. Let's just have a little look at what kind of women, what kind of women he tends to stalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have this as an extension of your social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it would combat one of the biggest problems around Christmas.
What to get people for Christmas?
What to get people for Christmas?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I imagine I'm quite difficult to buy for.
I'm not, because there's so many things I want all the time. But women are.
Yeah.
It's like how it works on Amazon, though, isn't it? Like the more you buy on Amazon, the more you get recommendations of things you actually want on Amazon. Any sort of online shopping, they take that data and use it to. If you like Batman, you might like Superman.
That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
Just making these social situations easier,
Yeah.
more convenient.
I've got to admit, I've probably bought less than 10 things on Amazon in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That
Yeah.
surprises me.
I buy
use
like
it.
10 things a month.
I don't ever use it for anything.
My Prime's down, and I'm like, because my Prime ran out at the end of December.
I use eBay for everything.
Oh my
And
god!
I don't know why. I've always used eBay, and I just
Ooh.
every now and again I'll go on Amazon and I look at the prices and they're about the same, and I'm like, well, I know eBay, so I trust that one, so I use that.
Really, I sort of do the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Literally,
don't trust
literally,
eBay.
yeah. I'm like, oh, I trust Amazon, so I'll use that.
No, I've always been eBay. Don't know why.
But you're like a parts and electronics buying kind of guy.
Yeah.
And there's a
That's a
lot of
good
good, lot of market for that on eBay.
a lot more car parts and stuff on eBay.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
car parts. Like I would buy car parts sort of off eBay
Yeah.
before anything
I've
else.
got all my stereo off eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like anything else, I'll get off Amazon.
I use eBay every month. I do my pre-order of comic books.
Have you heard about their blimp idea?
Who?
Amazon.
What? Were they going to have a
They're gonna
floating warehouse?
A floating warehouse in,
Yeah.
in a massive like blimp, and then they're going to have drones that drop the deliveries down.
Oh yeah.
They've patented it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Are they actually going to do it, or is this just
This is like
a crazy idea
this
they've had?
dystopian future shaping up where
Yeah.
you look out the window and it's dark 24 hours a day. Where the sky is just crowded with Amazon blimps and drones.
That's it. No sunlight getting through anymore.
No,
Yeah.
like a single
Whenever
flower
there is,
growing on the floor.
Like back in the 40s, let's say at 30s, whenever someone referred to the future, there was always blimps in the air, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was always like big,
Well, that was
giant.
like the up and coming technology. That was going to be the thing,
Yeah.
Then the Hindenburg happened.
Yes, that did happen, didn't it? Yeah.
or didn't happen.
What?
It kind of didn't really work very well, did it?
That's what. Oh right. Okay.
It worked really well to get that pylon, didn't it? There are videos, aren't there? Stock footage, like old
Yes.
timey
Yeah,
footage
yeah.
of actually going up, and
Oh,
it is crazy how
terrifying.
fast
Yeah, yeah.
it
It
goes
looks
up.
like, wow.
It's hydrogen,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Hydrogen's like it's great. It's
Doesn't
crazy.
it static?
Yes.
Was it static?
Yeah,
I
it was
thought it
static
hit a pylon.
in the envelope.
I was actually
Yeah.
reading today how, in terms of like turning, sort of extracting energy from molecules and things like that, how easy it is to do that with hydrogen. It's literally like tiniest little static or light, any sort.
For it to
any
be
sort of
so combustible, it
Yeah.
must be easy to
Yeah.
transform its state.
Yeah, it goes
Yeah.
That's why when they talk about the future of cars
in
and
air.
stuff.
In air, I should point
Yeah.
out.
When they talk about the future of cars and stuff, they talk about these hydrogen fuel cells.
The first lot of electric cars were hydrogen fuel, weren't they? Before they even came out with batteries in them, they were all like these water-based hydrogen.
That's still, they say, the future.
Yeah.
If they can get it to a point where it's stable and safe enough to use,
Yeah.
and also efficient enough. Even though it is very easy to get the energy from it, it's not particularly efficient because you could lose a lot of energy and like heat and things like that.
Oh, yeah, because I thought the problem with it was that it took more energy to get it out than what you actually got out of it.
That too.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember what the point was.
No.
The reason why it disappeared.
Sorry.
Ah, mate.
Right. Just hacking up a bit of that.
We're vetoing the blimp then.
What, the blimp that tells everybody what you need to get from the shops?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout up to the sky. What does the girlfriend want for Christmas? Down comes a drone. There you
Opens
go.
up, it's a nice little bracelet.
I say that when we pulled up outside, there was a drone outside.
saw
Was there?
flying out.
Yeah, and I drove in and it followed me in, and we got out of the car and its camera was looking at us. Very
I think it
freaky.
was clocking his car.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's going to be gone by the time you
So
get back
when we go
outside.
I think we could be walking home.
That's right, I got 2 seat. I got
I'm-
4 seat.
I made a real point of like getting in close to the keypad so they couldn't read the numbers as I was typing them in.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
thing.
good
So I was
point.
like, 'cause it could be clocking.
Oh, so did I. I must admit, so did I
Yeah.
actually, because I saw it fly over, but it wasn't around at the time as I went in. But I did.
I was
sort
just like, pom-pomming around. 2982.
Now everyone knows, Dan.
I thought you were about to give away the. I was like, oh god! And I was like, wait a second, that's not the number.
Yeah, I can beep it out on the podcast, but the live is gone already.
That's out there. I quite like this idea of sentiment analysis, data analysis.
Yeah.
Because
There must be-
we already it's so integrated already into our lives, these sort of rating and stuff like that. And maybe we should, and that builds a sort of profile for the betterment of our own social sort of awkwardness.
Well, there is already a link, isn't there, between my credit card and my profile, isn't there? Because if I buy something on my credit card, every now and again I'll get an advert for it
Yeah.
Yes.
on my computer
That's
the
why
same day.
those Brazzers
They sell
adverts
my
come up
data,
on your
don't they?
computer.
Yeah, I mean, the real problem with all this stuff is it's just terrifying amounts of data on individuals, which,
Yeah,
as you,
just to make us buy more things.
as I have mentioned countless times on this podcast, I find terrifying, and I take every step.
It depends what
to
they
make
know.
sure
I
that
literally,
I don't get
do you know what? They can know what I buy off Amazon.
Yeah.
It's toys and comic books.
Yeah, well,
You know.
same for me.
Can
But,
you imagine
like,
that they're going to be in their little NSA building or whatever? Let's look up Dominic Alexander. He's a man-child. He buys toys and comics.
Nothing you couldn't know from me, but meeting me for 10 minutes. You know.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like even if there aren't any like weird motives around it, like you've literally just witnessed that yourself. There's a drone flying over you with a camera, and you immediately become more paranoid about it because you think, I don't want this person. Like, what if they do want to look at it? Like, they shouldn't be able to. So you cover the keypad.
That's for your benefit, not mine.
Well, it's for you. It's for
I
your
don't want you
business,
to get all
it's
your
not
stuff
mine, I don't
nicked.
care about it,
But it all crosses your mind.
Well, of course it does. But at the same time, it's like, what do they possibly want to know about me?
Had I
that
seen
they
who
already-
was piloting it, if it had been like some little kid who was just piloting his thing around, it wouldn't have bothered me. But I couldn't see who was flying it.
Exactly. You don't know
So
who
I
has
didn't know.
access
So
to your
I was like,
information.
well, I better.
There was
Who
nobody around,
watches
was
the
it?
Watchmen? Dan?
Yeah, exactly. It's too much. It's too much information for people to have.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Well, the
Like, in terms of this podcast, this is a great idea because I loved it. Like, you could take this and extrapolate and be like, oh god, Maddie's angry with me today, and I can ask it,
How
what
can I
can
power up
what
Maddie?
can I say to her?
Yeah.
It will learn what. I'll put it in. I said I love you, and it didn't work. It said I'll take you out for dinner, and it did work. And it'll say offer to take her out for dinner, but
Windows troubleshooting wizard. Then
yeah, the paperclip.
did you unplug it?
You need to get Alexa listening to you all the time.
Yeah, that
is always listening.
That is terrifying.
That has actually started to bother me over the last couple of days.
The
'Cause
fact it's always
I
listening.
got one of these Alexa things.
Did you get out the Amazon Echo?
for Christmas?
And
Yeah,
you're
they-
scared about like data, like And you've got an Amazon Echo.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
A
like,
machine that constantly listens
Which is
to
the
everything
thing,
you
the
say.
one thing that constantly listens to you and takes every part of your data, life, and all that sort of thing, and then feeds it back to one of the biggest corporations on the
but
planet.
this is
And you're going, oh, I don't know about people looking at my search history.
I want to know what flavour crisps I like.
it's
When this could be potentially listening to you make love. You know, it's it's just dawned on him.
No, Dan, it's not your birthday.
Alexa, put on my no sex playlist.
it's exactly the same.
One is the loneliest number.
Exactly the same as every time we do this on the podcast. I marvel at the idea for like a little while, and then it dawns on me because for the first week after I got it, it's amazing. Because the thing is, like, I've never seen anything.
Oh, it's a
like
great
it
bit of
before.
kit. Don't get
I've
me
never
wrong.
seen anything like it before. I had music playing the other day, standing over the other side of my room, and I went, and it picks it up. It
Really?
stops it, and it's flashing, and it's willing to take my commands. I could be downstairs. Like the other day, I forgot to turn my music off downstairs. Just shouted up the stairs, Alexa, stop. Stops. Great. I think that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But then about 2 days ago, it did dawn on me. I was sitting there and I was reading about like the 7 microphones that are in it, and I was just looking at it, and then looking at the cable connecting it directly to the internet, and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake.
They got you.
Puts a hat on it.
With all your VPNs
I know,
and your
right?
fucking like subnet masks.
I'm
and
like 85 to 90% untraceable on the internet, and now they're literally listening to me in my room.
Deciding what
literally,
you want
you
to watch
spent
on
all
Netflix.
this
Yeah.
time making yourself untraceable on the internet, and then you literally allowed them to use that big thing the coppers do to break down your door, and now they are listening to you, collecting all your thoughts.
Yeah.
Very true.
Does Siri's not listening all the time?
No, but Siri does still feed into a big data engine at Apple.
Yeah, but only when you activate it. And
Only when you
Oh,
activate
God,
it.
you've done now. Now I'm really thinking that, like, you know, maybe it's listening
He's
to
going
me.
to go home tonight and pull everything out
Just,
of the wall.
it's listening to me in my sleep, so it knows what I want. You know,
Going down under.
it knows what I want in my subconscious as well.
On one of our early episodes, Dan's girlfriend Maddie had recorded their sleep to hear what they say in their sleep, and Dan just does this amazing Australian accent in his sleep and just goes, "I'm going down under." That's all he said. We were replaying it on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
She's got that one, and then she's got this fart that I do, which is like the big. It's like a comedy fart. It goes like, it's great. We'll recap this next episode, and I'll bring in all my sound effects.
Very show and tell. I'll bring in all the chocolate bars. You can bring your fart sounds.
Yeah, I've probably got them all
So you
somewhere.
could probably
all-
wake up in the morning and just say, Alexa, did I say anything weird last night?
Probably.
She might
Yes,
be able
Dan,
to recap.
and I love you.
Like,
So this is what the thing, when you sleep at
can't
night,
do
these
that,
little
Dan.
electrodes
Yeah.
come out and go bzzz, drill into your brain.
Yeah. Well, as long as it gives me better recommendations on Amazon, I'm happy.
See, you should watch it. See, if you start you plan it, so you start talking about something obscure like baby cots or something. Start talking about baby cots in your room a little bit, and then see if all of a sudden you start getting those recommendations on Amazon.
Yeah. But there was that big legal thing a couple of years ago, wasn't there? Because the Samsung smart TVs that had
I've got one of those.
You could speak to them.
I can't speak to mine.
They started to do that. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
But it turned out that they were listening. It was listening at odd times and transmitting data and things like that. And so they had to. I can't remember what the
Samsung
end
are always
result
getting in
was.
trouble, aren't they?
Exploding phones,
That's it.
Big Brother TVs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit scary,
Yeah.
but it would absolutely resolve this problem.
Yeah,
Of people
what?
saying whatever.
That's it. I fancy
Yeah.
a Mars bar. Just hear me say that one day, wouldn't it? And then you go, what would Ross... You ask Alexa what Ross would like from the shop.
Yeah,
You go,
Alexa,
well,
what would Ross
Ross
like from the shop?
Ross recently commented that he fancied a Mars bar.
yeah.
I'll get him a Mars bar then. Thanks, Alexa. Thank you,
And the
slave.
drone will bring it down to you from the cloud machine.
I am actually going to start monitoring my internet traffic to see if it's constantly transmitting stuff.
It is.
Oh God, I can't stop thinking about it now. I'm just thinking it's like a
Because when
horror
I
movie.
first
I'm
saw
thinking
it-
of Maddie at home with it, sitting in that room. It's like it knows it's on the internet and it knows that I've got its number and it's got hold of her, wrapped an Ethernet cable around her neck.
It's like an episode of The Simpsons. What was that episode of The Simpsons where the house becomes they get like a fancy gadget house.
It's
got Pierce Brosnan's
Brosnan,
voice,
yeah.
and it tries to kill Homer and seduce Marge.
That's it. That was a good Simpsons.
That was a good Simpsons episode.
That was the same one where Bart had the clowns. It was in that batch, wasn't it? Because now they do the Treehouse of Horrors. There's
yes,
about 3 or
that's
4.
right, yeah.
Bart had those clowns, those crusty clowns that tried to kill him.
That's right, yeah. Oh,
Everything can be related back to the Simpsons.
it's true.
Yeah.
Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did do
Simpsons did it.
it. Yeah,
Well, I think that's solved then.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Sold for X. So we got to give this bad boy a name. Come up with a title for the show. Any ideas?
Alexa,
Alexa,
put your fingers in your ears.
Alexa, what do I want from the shop? What do you want from the shop?
Just get us something. Maybe your listeners could make a suggestion.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's true. Have any of them commented recently?
Not for a little while.
No.
People listening.
With people
They're all
listening?
they're very silent, very voyeur.
Ooh.
They're just watching. I feel like there's a blinding name in there somewhere.
There is somewhere.
Something to do with it listening to Dan having sex. There's got to be something there.
You don't want to hear that. It's too noisy. It would break the microphones.
Let's hope, eh?
Dan's hips clicking.
See, the worrying thing is that you'll have sex and then you'll wake up the next morning and look at Amazon and then it'll be a whole bunch of instructions on how to do sex well.
Performance enhancing
Yeah.
drugs.
It'll be like the joy of sex, the Kama Sutra.
That would be very helpful.
It's a very top line. Need to last longer in bed? Question mark.
That's a good point, actually.
Can you turn her off? Alexa, I mean. You turn the echo off?
By putting the plug out.
by putting the plug out. Yeah,
Does that wipe it or anything?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I imagine data's probably cloud based, isn't it, rather than local.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not, I don't think there's
Chances
anything
gonna-
actually
yeah.
on it. Some sort of
That'd be a
some
title.
firmware.
Can you turn her off? Alexa, I mean.
Dean has suggested Amazon Alexa. As in a play on Alexa.
What?
Instead of Alexa, Alsexa.
I quite like that.
Are we allowed to use things like Amazon in podcast names?
Amazon is the name of a jungle as well as
That is a good point. Yes,
you
Amazon
go.
Alsexa. I like Amazon Alsexa. I quite like
I like
that,
it.
yeah.
We'll do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Alright.
Is that Dean?
Dean Heckley.
Dean
I
Heckley.
don't know.
Thanks, Dean.
Thank you,
Dean.
mate.
Not the Dean I was thinking about, but always nice to have another Dean.
You can never have too many Deans. That's what they say.
Ding, 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 ding. Right, excellent.
Wrap it up, Dom.
I'll take it to the home plate and win the sports game. Right, excellent.
Go, sports team.
Yeah, sports.
Sports.
Right. So, the episode is entitled Amazon Alsexa. Okay, so if you want to get into contact with us, you can reach us at stickitpod.com. There you will find links to all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and all the various. If you haven't already, please check out our 2-part Christmas special, which was a real bitch to make, and
Yeah, everyone must listen to it because
A piece of me died during the writing of it.
we all gave a piece of our soul to that Christmas special, so fucking listen to it. If you want to email us, you can contact us at flingit@stickitpod.com, or you can get into contact with the previously aforementioned social media pages. Send us your problems. We need some more problems. It's a new year, new you. You've got some problems to solve. We'll solve your New Year's resolutions for you.
I'm glad you breathed. I wasn't sure if you were going to.
Send it in video format if you can, because we do enjoy looking at your beautiful, beautiful faces. For this week, I've been Dom.
I've been Ross.
I've been Dan.
I've been Graham.
Skip it up, boop, badoo.